What's up, everyone? This is my 1999 F250 with the 7.3 diesel. It's been sitting here at a spot that I rent. It's been sitting here for about 6 months, I'd say, so probably somewhere in middle of January, so actually maybe 5 months or so. But it has a brand new engine that we installed last year, and I'll show you the details on that in a little bit. But the batteries were dead last week when I tried to start it, so we have to put the batteries in and see what happens.
See what happens here.
Here's my 1999 F250 with the 7.3 diesel in it. As you can tell, it sits up a little higher. I put a lift kit in it. Was it a 4 or a 6? I think it was a 4. These are not the original tires. I kind of chewed through the tires when it's the first set of tires that were put on it. But we'll walk you around. I'll show you the different things I've done to it. Believe it or not, as it sits here, it has 435,000 miles on it. And I'll go over everything that I replaced and everything that's original. When I bought it, it was in 2016, and it wasn't lifted. It had stock wheels on it, and it had the stock headlights in it. It had about 390,000 miles on it. So since then, we'll take a walk around. We'll start with the... So this engine I bought brand new last winter, so the winter of 2021, like in January or so. And this is brand new. So the story with this engine is, it was in an excursion back in 2001 on the assembly line, and it received back damage to the vehicle. So they totaled it before it was even sold to anyone. They pulled the motor out. The motor had maybe 20 miles on it, and then they put it in a crate, and it got sent off to wherever, into a warehouse, and it was sitting there up until last year, until I bought it. So that I kind of limped my way through with the old motor up until last winter when I put this in. So this has, I'd say, roughly a couple thousand miles on it, if that. The turbo's brand new, injectors, everything is brand new other than the intercooler pipes, and the radiator hoses are actually brand new. So we did have to do quite a bit of work to the external of the engine, like all the rubber seals on the fuel lines, the oil pan, the rear main seal, the front oil pump seal, the water pump seal. Anything seal related or O-ring related was worn away from sitting there for 20 something years. But in terms of everything, in terms of the actual engine, everything's brand new. As you can see, these batteries are a couple years old, so I had to charge them up, but they still work. It has the gear reduction starter, so it spins the motor even faster, like you heard in the video before. This also has a brand new transmission, and I've been calling it brand new because it's about 3 years old now, the transmission. I bought it from Ford, put it in myself in 2019 or so. So this transmission probably only has 5 or 10,000 miles on it. I mean, take a look at the wheels. I upgraded to the Warren locking hubs. I prefer them over the factory. The factory ones get stuck with all the road grime and everything, and these ones is what I decided to go with. I've done brakes, calipers, pads, rotors, all the way around. The wheel bearings were done. As you can tell with the lift, the leaf springs were done. All the brake lines on the entire truck, all the fuel lines were done. I upgraded the mirrors. I mean, take a walk around. It's relatively rust-free because up until 2016, it lived most of its life in Texas. That's where it was built, and that's where the first owner had it. So I bought it from a guy in Texas, and as you can see, there's no rust anywhere here. There's just a couple little spots, a little bit back here. It's starting right here. That's all water dripping out.
This was a Chinese bumper too that rotted out right
Chinese
away. That's only like 3
bumper.
years old.
It is what it is with that. The short bed on it. The other side's pretty much the same. But like I said, back here, new shocks, new leaf springs, new brakes, brake lines, hoses, caliper pads, parking brake, you name it. I did everything to this. The fuel tank has a new sending unit. It's been cleaned out. I did the cross members on the pickup bed themselves because they go over, even if they're not rusty, they start to sag a little bit, so I did that. We're not going to show the back seat because I've been kind of throwing a bunch of garbage and stuff in here because I haven't been using this truck, but pretty much the only thing original on this truck other than the paint and say like the door handles is the seats, which you can expect that out of a 425,000 mile truck. I've been just looking for a used seat, a used set of seats, but I haven't had time to even do that. The steering wheel's spinning a little bit, the fabric is coming up. But hey, this truck cleans up really, really nice. And it's just been sitting for 5 months because I just haven't needed it. It was up until this year, as you guys saw in last year's video, it was mostly me working by myself. And then I bought that truck a couple years ago, which you've seen already. So this was my daily driver for 3 or 4 years till I bought the new one. Now it's just primarily a work truck or if something goes wrong with something else. But that's pretty much it. It doesn't have the running lights up on the top. I bought them. We never even put them on yet.
We'll walk around the side real quick.
Yeah.
What does that have, a 4-inch straight pipe?
No, it's a 4-inch. Sorry, it's a 4-inch MBRP turbo back exhaust system, which was actually very, very easy to put in.
All right.
Looking at it, it still looks like a very nice truck. I only bought that truck because I got it for a really, really good price, and it's already the color black, which matches everything else. Maybe we'll paint this one day, but in terms of this truck being completely paid for with a new motor and everything, we could go anywhere we want with this. So
Yeah.
that pretty much wraps up the review on this truck. What are your guys' favorite? What's your brand of truck? Some people get into really serious arguments on the computer. Chevy's better than this, Ford's better than this, Dodge is better than this. What's your guys' brand that you run? I run all Fords for my truck, for my trucks, for my crews, but that's just what I know. My dad's always owned Ford, and then I bought my first Ford, and I've had a million of them since I got my license, so this is all I know. The other ones are fine, but this is just what I know. So if you'd like to subscribe and leave in the comments your favorite truck, your favorite brand, or whatever, maybe a picture of your setup, what are you running? That would be great.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, everyone.